Alright, here's the trial. Here we go. Alright, we are back to some of this. Some more of this. Okay. Let's look at our true bullets. Okay. So we have our Monokuma file. Around 2 a.m. in the morning. Cause of death was a blow to the head from one object. Killed instantly. Okay. Declined several times to go with Sakura and... What? I don't know. She may have used the locker room late at night to avoid them. Despite this year, I'd say that she had desired help with her efforts. She may have been needing someone in the locker room night. Yep, we know that. The dumbbell was probably the murder weapon. Was anyone willing to listen to one good songs? Some assume that due to her inferiority complex about being weak, she admired strength more than anything else. I don't know how that's gonna help. Maybe it will. To unlock a locker room, you need to swipe your ebook. Email student, yep. It's not possible for two people to enter at the same time. Huh. This could be somebody used one, perhaps? Possible. They're stored in the main hall. Whoops, I didn't finish reading. Didn't finish reading. Gotta finish reading them. Gotta read them all one time through, know them well, and then we go into it. Found the main hall was broken, which apparently rare occurrence. Junko's and Sayaka's handbooks missing a word. Leon's was apparently the one that was broken, but apparently wasn't broken, so something happened there. This is the big clue, probably right here. Genocide Jack. We don't care about the people that were killed, but yeah, they were killed the way of the person there, and somebody that did that, the suspect would have like a freaking, apparently a disorder of split personality, which Toko had, clearly. Maybe it's her, maybe it's not. Kept a distance from the other girls at school. Got along well with her male classmates. So it's possible it's a male. Absolutely. Who knows? Who knows? We're gonna find out the case. I mean, obviously it's pointing to Toko, but we're gonna find out with the case. We're gonna find out the actual case. Hopefully we'll do better with the last rhythm part, because that rhythm part screwed me up the last time twice you guys watched that. That was not a fun part. Everything else was okay, but yeah, that part really screwed me up. We actually don't need to do that. I keep forgetting that. Why do I keep forgetting to do that? Yep, and the poster's removed. We noticed that. I noticed it myself, because I remember going to the locker room multiple times, and the male one had the girl, and the female one had that band, so it's quite clear that, yes, they were switched. Why? Don't know. Maybe she was killed in the boys' locker room and she was moved to the girls'. Who knows? There's a lot of possibilities here. Her handbook was not on her, so that's interesting. Shigeru's body had been suspended and her hands had been bound with some kind of rope. Her fatal injuries blow to the head, probably from the dumbbell or whatever. Coffee stain on the girls' locker room and then it moved over. It was in the boys' locker room instead, so it's possible there's some... Possible it was done in the boys' locker room, absolutely. Absolutely possible. Since there was not really a lot of blood around the scene, it was just on the wall, and on her herself, of course. Used the lamp, however the extension cord had gone missing at some point. Lamp's cord couldn't quite reach. Yep, she was spotted leaving the warehouse. Some blue duffel bags. Okay. I think we are ready, so let's go ahead and get our skills set up. So we have two. We have so many skills, dude. Fluids cage. That we need. Allows you to reload 2 bullets at once. Pretty neat. That might be handy. Yeah, we have a lot of useful ones, and then I guess we'll do that, I guess. Even though I didn't use it last time. Alright, rub your hands together. Shake them. Let's do it. Let's do it. Right here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do our case. Trial time, boys. This one ain't a tutorial.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Okay, then. So, first off, let's talk about the murder weapon!
I think we know. Locker room down. You selected?
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
Not an iron pipe.
Interesting.
That's gonna be
That certainly would make for a powerful weapon.
Poor Chihiro.
Let's back it up. We know what it is now. Back it up. Yeah, we know.
Chihiro's fatal injury. It appears it was a head wound.
According to the Monokuma file, the killer used a blunt instrument. But what kind of blunt instrument could it have been?
I bet it was an iron pipe.
No, that's wrong.
Break.
Can we agree that the object that dealt the fatal blow was the dumbbell, found at the scene of the crime? It was covered in blood, and there was nothing else at the scene that could have caused that kind of injury.
And the wound on the victim's head is consistent with the shape of the dumbbell.
Nice.
As far as I'm concerned, there's no mistake and no room for doubt on this one.
You looked at her head wound?
Yay! That's so creepy!
Yeah, but hey, that you needed to do it.
If you don't mind, I will proceed from here. Let's move on to discussion of the culprit. Although, I believe the criminal behind this heinous act is already quite clear.
Yes.
What? For real?
Chihiro's killer is the fiendish serial killer, Genocide Jack.
Well, yeah, we're talking about new element has been added to non-stop debates. Yeah, let's hear it. For this debate, lines of white noise will appear to disrupt your reactions. Your truth bullets will disappear if they hit these lines, so think of them as obstacles in your fate. But there's a way to keep this white noise from getting in your way. Use your right mouse button to touch the silencer, which you can use to shoot down the white noise. However, you shoot an actual remark with your silencer instead of white noise, the time limit will decrease. So take careful aim when you have your silencer out. Oh, but if your accent difficulty sets you down to white noise, yeah, we don't care. We don't care. We're playing it on me. We're mean. We're gonna be hard on myself. Alright, let's go. Okay, Dr. Dumbbell probably out of the case, so either probably the first one.
The culprit is Genocide Jack. I'm sure. Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
The case file.
Hey, so,
Case file.
speaking of Genocide Jack, I don't know who that is!
We got it.
The culprit is
They
Genocide
give
Jack.
it away too.
I'm sure.
Literally, you let it
Case
go through once,
closed,
it gives it away
as far as
too.
I'm
So
concerned.
you don't really need
But
to
that's
be
impossible!
smart about this. If
Why?
you're not the
What
best
makes
at
it
this kind of
impossible?
game, to give you the
Well,
big
I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Hey, so, speaking of
That's how
Genocide
it blocks.
Jack,
Okay, yeah.
I don't know who that is!
It blocked it. It actually blocked it. Okay,
The
we have to go
culprit
to the
is
right.
Genocide Jack. I'm
It actually
sure.
comes in the way.
Case closed, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's impossible!
Why? What makes it impossible?
Well, I mean, come on! There's just no proof for it.
Want it?
No, that's
Don't
wrong.
let that white noise freaking ruin my game, man. I'm freaking ready.
I might know one reason he could be involved.
What?
I found this file while I was looking around the archive in the library. I guess it's some kind of confidential file the police put together about the Genocide Jack case.
What? That's kind of weird as shit, isn't it? What was something like that doing in the library?
The why of it is probably more trouble than it's worth, so let's forget about that for now. More importantly, it outlines all the specifics of every Genocide Jack case in exceeding detail. According to the file, there appear to be 2 defining characteristics in every Genocide Jack case. The first is that a bloody message is found written at the scene of every murder.
Oh, that's right. Booblust.
No. It's actually bloodlust.
He really said booblust so much.
But more important is the other characteristic, and it's something that has never been made public.
Never made public? What the hell is it?
Why don't you tell them, Makoto?
Sure. How the victim was positioned. Wait, no.
I got it!
Yeah, it must be that.
Apparently, in every Genocide Jack case, the killer suspends the body in a certain way.
Process elimination, guys. Remember, multiple choice, SATs. That's how you do it. Think about it.
Other than the killer, the only people who know about this are the higher-ups in the police department.
However, Chihiro was most definitely suspended in the same way. So, how did the culprit know about this when only high-level police officials were aware of it? There's only one logical answer I can think of. It's because the culprit in this case is the real Genocide Jack.
No fucking way!
You're saying Genocide Jack is one of us?
Yes, in fact, it's Toko.
I mean, it's pretty convincing.
What?
I mean, it could be Puyachi.
Genocide Jack's true identity is Toko Fukawa.
I mean, she did panic a lot.
What? Hey, okay, wait, hold on a sec. Toko has, like, bloodophobia or whatever, remember? What kind of serial killer is afraid of blood?
Is Toko Genocide Jack? The answer is yes and no.
Another riddle? Man, why is this gotta be so complicated?
I feel like you can just about see it. Listen, let's find out. He-Man's kid. Oh, freak. We're getting roughed up. It's C, no, it's not C. It's not, oh, freak me. It's S. Yes, S. Is it C? I don't know if it's C. It might be C. What is the word? Pause for a second. So we have SHI. I just realized I was taking damage too. I just realized that. So SHI. Split, no. What was it called? I mean, split personality disorder, whatever it was called. What was it called? What word is it? try again. Yep, you're giving it another shot.
I refuse to give up yet!
Okay, let's try this again. This time not mess up on that. Okay, so we know the first couple of letters. Well, I thought it was a split. I don't know the word yet. We know the first letters. We know the first couple of letters, so we know the first couple of letters. Not A. Probably not I. Probably not C either. Let's see. Is it R? O? Oh, there we go.
Now I understand!
What the frick is that word? Okay, I didn't know what that word was.
Is it because Genocide Jack has a split personality?
That's what it's called? That's what why did it... Oh my gosh.
Huh?
Why is it Schnitzel or
I
whatever?
think I read that somewhere in the
Oh
file,
gosh, they did a freaking
too.
complicated
They thought
word.
that the suspect might have... what did they call it? Dissociative identity disorder.
I don't even... That's bullcrap, dude. That is bullcrap. That was not the word I remember.
Oh, okay. But still, to go and say that about Miss Fukawa is...
Perfectly acceptable. Toko's strange behavior after seeing the body is proof enough that she has a split personality.
She fainted. No, wait.
Shoot!
Oh, that's bad. Well, that wasn't it. Okay, so it wasn't fainting. Her behavior... Well, yeah, that's...
got it!
Actually, yeah, that was
You're
right.
talking about how she started acting totally different than usual, right?
That's right. Think back. She fainted when she saw Chihiro's corpse, and then, when she woke up...
There it is. Front and the back. Top inning and a bottom. See truth and web lies. Quite concerning me. She sounds completely different.
She was acting funny, that's for sure. That melancholy tone of hers completely disappeared.
Don't go assigning adjectives to my tone without permission.
Not to mention, once she regained consciousness and saw Chihiro's body again, she was utterly calm. In other words, within her is one personality that can handle blood, and one that obviously can.
So when Toko trapped herself in her room, it's because she was scared of Genocide Jack?
Possible. I'll just sign check have control. That's a good point. I'll drive out the killer, drive out the murderers.
The reason she locked herself in her room wasn't to keep other people from getting in. It was to keep her other personality from getting out.
What?
Toko was afraid. Afraid of the murderous fiend inside of her. Of killing even more people.
It's possible.
How?
Yeah. How can you know all this?
I do believe you misunderstood her. What she's trying to say isn't, how can you know all this? No. What she wants to know is, how could you tell them?
Huh?
Last night, just before Monokuma gave his motive speech, Toko and I had a strange conversation. She told me a most interesting story. She said a murderous fiend lived within her, and she was afraid it could appear and attack at any time. And that trepidation is what's caused her to have such a bleak attitude. Isn't that right, Toko?
This is all a lie. Right, Toko?
You said you wouldn't tell anyone.
What?
You promised. I can't believe you lied.
Oh, this is a short case.
You have only yourself to blame. You came to me with your tragic little story. I didn't ask you to. This is the real world, not some romantic fantasy fairy tale.
Is this really it?
Besides, you broke your promise first. You said that as long as you were here, no matter what, you wouldn't let Genocide Jack kill anyone. But in spite of that promise,
You said if I kept my promise, you would go out with me. That's the only reason I promised.
how many times do I have to tell you? I never said that.
I mean, you probably did say that,
But you weren't able to do it. You just couldn't resist that rush you got from killing, could you?
I tried. I swear I tried to control it, but...
My one question is, how the freak did she lift that dumbbell?
But your efforts were useless. What a disappointment.
There's still more to this. We got a little bit more talking first before we settle this one.
I hate you.
Well, the opening act is nearly finished. All that's left is to hear from the person in question directly.
The person? You don't mean...
I suddenly lunged backwards. A huge thud echoed across the courtroom, but in the next second... Wait, what?
Well, hello there! Is it me you were hoping to see?
Oh god! What the freak?
What the heck?
Oh, you're right next to her. Be my meat shield, will ya?
So you figured it out, huh? Well, whatever. What are you gonna do? I'm the ultimate murderous fiend, Genocide Jack! Or better yet, let's go with Genocide Jill!
What the fuck is this?
Toko, what happened to you?
Not Toko, that's a loser name, and what happened is a textbook split personality. So what if one of them happens to be a serial killer? You should turn a blind eye to one's faults.
So intense.
Like they say, sound in murderous mind, sound in murderous body.
This one is so different from the one we've come to know.
Yes, well, the world is composed of a front and a back, you know. Just like how every inning has a top and a bottom, or how in the depths of every truth lives a little lie. Behind every dark and gloomy soul lives another that shines as bright as the sun!
She's crazy. She really crazy.
Miss Jack, Jill, can I ask you a question?
What's up?
Some of us think you might be the mastermind behind our entire situation. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'll tell you, I am the mastermind of all masterminds! Just kidding!
Then it's not true?
Of course it's not true! How dare you try to link me to that creepazoid? And another thing, the police and government and society in the outside world are totally powerless! I mean, they just let this idiotic bloodthirsty maniac go buck wild all over town!
Sure, I'm a bloodthirsty maniac, but life is pain, right? To live is to hurt other people. It's a necessary evil if you want to survive. The act of living itself causes pain for everyone. Just kidding again!
This should be enough to convince you. This murderous fiend is responsible for Chihiro's death.
Hold on, we got more though. This ain't it, Chief.
There's clearly a motive, so there should be no doubt.
There's still more, man. This ain't it yet.
A motive?
Remember what Monokuma told us? If someone didn't murder and graduate within 24 hours, an embarrassing memory or secret would be revealed.
That is a good point.
Well, let's assume that Toko's secret was about Genocide Jack. If a secret like that came to light, Toko's life would have undoubtedly been forever ruined. So she had a very clear motive to never have that side of herself exposed.
We need to talk more first.
Interesting. Very, very, very interesting. But sorry, as much as I hate to admit it, I'm not the culprit.
Aw, crap. Well, here we go.
But I cannot imagine anyone other than you could murder someone in such a bizarre fashion.
Maybe so, but nevertheless, it's the truth.
Do you really expect any of us to believe you?
Yeah. I could never believe a word you say, you monster!
Well, I think the weight's kind of sus, because how could she lift that? And hang her that high? She's pretty short. Well, let's see. We'll see what we need. Obviously, I don't know yet.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
I don't know about that.
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up. You killed her.
There's more. There's something.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
When you compare your past murders to this incident, the modus operandi matches completely. What more proof do we need? Give it up.
This one.
You killed her.
Let's try this one.
Sorry, but I didn't kill anyone!
You say that, but do you really expect any of us to believe it?
Perhaps if you had an alibi, that would change things.
Oh, an alibi, huh? Now we're talking!
Maybe the status of the dead
When you
body.
compare your past murders to this incident,
Yeah, actually,
the
it might be
modus
this one.
operandi matches completely.
No, that's wrong.
There we go. We found gold, boys. Yeah, I think that one's
Are the
pretty sick.
methods of murder really exactly the same? I'm not so sure about that. I think there's a slight difference between the Genocide Jack cases and this one.
Huh? How's it any different?
Uh-oh, you don't know? Well then, human garbage, let me tell you! I murder with passion and conviction. I consider myself a professional, and I have a very particular way of doing things. Imagine you go to a fancy Italian restaurant. They're very picky about the noodles, the sauce, everything. But what happened to Chihiro? It'd be like if that same Italian restaurant started using ragu or Chef Boyardee. This is no creation of mine.
Let me rephrase that in a way that maybe makes more sense.
Yeah, please.
There are two clear differences between the Genocide Jack cases and this one. I got it!
Bingo.
For one, the cause of death is different. In the Genocide Jack murders, all the victims were killed the same way. According to the case file, they were all apparently killed with a pair of scissors. But Chihiro died from a blow to the head, right?
Ah, yes. That is remarkably different from the other murders.
Wouldn't it be strange for someone who kills the same way without fail to suddenly change their method? And there's more. One more conflicting detail.
That's right. In my recipe of murder, if the bloody message is the tortellini, then the arrangement of the body would be the pesto sauce.
Could you please stop comparing killing people to cooking?
So, are you saying the other difference has to do with how the body was arranged?
What was used?
I got it! Do you remember what the killer used to suspend her? They used some kind of rope to hang her up by her wrists.
What is your point?
Well, in all the previous Genocide Jack cases, something else was used to suspend them. Specifically, pairs of razor-sharp scissors.
And guess what? I used my own specially designed scissors for the murders and the arrangement. Like I said, I'm a professional, so naturally I'm very picky about the tools I use. And you know what else? Big Mac said there's two differences, but But he's wrong.
Big Mac? Are you referring to me?
Listen up, Big Mac. There's actually one more difference.
Huh?
My word, you really didn't notice? Take a look at who the victims were in each Genocide Jack case. There's a pattern there, just waiting to be discovered.
They're all male?
Pattern.
Is that it? They're all male?
Figure that out, and it'll be plain as death why I couldn't have possibly killed that little lolly girl.
I got it!
Yep, that was it.
Is it because
This is why we do the
Chihiro was a
evidence
girl?
first.
Bingo! Bullseye, right on the money!
What are you talking about?
In all the Genocide Jack cases, all the victims had something in common.
They're all male, yep. All those are male names.
They were all guys?
That's right! The people I killed with such passion and conviction are all adorable little men!
Oh, God.
I can't believe I said it! I'm so embarrassed!
The hell is wrong with you?
I can't help it! I'm just a full-throttle boy-on-boy fangirl, and the mopey side of me just hates it!
Man, we hanged out with that girl, by the way, one time. Oh, that was a mistake all the way around.
But now I'm on the fast track to becoming a full-fledged fan madam!
So, since Chihiro was a girl and not an adorable little man, you wouldn't kill her?
Would an Italian chef suddenly start making ramen just because they're both noodles? Don't be stupid. I have too much passion and conviction to cross that line. That's the absolute reality of the one and only.
We get it. You've clearly explained your hobby and your philosophy. But that's not all there is to it. It's a different matter entirely, when you're forced to kill in order to survive.
Quiet, lowly cur!
Lowly? Cur?
I would never kill for a reason as petty as mere survival. And if by some fluke I did kill to survive, why would I bother with the message and arrangement? It'd make me the obvious suspect!
That does make some amount of sense.
Plus, whatever reason I have for killing, I would never leave out my prized scissors. Who would go out of their way to use a big, stupid, heavy dumbbell?
Yeah, she couldn't even lift it. That was kind of the thing that kind of conflicted me. It's like, sure, she was suspicious, but that dumbbell, I don't think she could have lifted that. I'm sorry.
Maybe you used the dumbbell because you couldn't find any scissors in the school?
Yeah, you gotta use your brain. Look at her. She couldn't lift it.
Any scissors? I don't just use any scissors. I only use my own set of high-class envy of the entire world scissors!
Okay, whatever. There still aren't any in the school.
Are you sure about that? Da-da-da-da!
Oh, God. She's gonna murder right there.
She's fully equipped!
Good luck, Kafumi. You're staying right next to her, my man.
That's right! So I can kill anywhere, anytime! Why would I resort to dumbbells or rope when I have my trusty scissors by my side? Go ahead, tell me I'm wrong, you can you gutter dogs, all of you!
Well, if it's not her, it could be Dracula, because they do a lot of research on it.
Not to mention, I have no clue how to tie a good knot! The rope's totally out of the question anyway!
I have no idea what's going on anymore! Could such a heinous villain really be innocent?
But the body really was suspended, right? And nobody but the police knew about that.
Yeah! That's why we figured it had to be the real deal, and not some copycat killer or whatever.
Yeah, let's just go over here. Hello, dude. Hello. Yeah, he's looking scared. You better be scared. I'm picking you.
Here's my answer. Byakuya, it's possible you could have found out, isn't it? You'd have no problem gaining access to classified government documents or internal police records. Plus, you'd already looked through the Genocide Jack file before this all happened, hadn't you?
Are you saying Mr. Togami did it?
It's possible.
Then, the reason he pushed the theory of Genocide Jack being the killer so hard was because he wanted to pin the crime on her.
So, he rearranged the scene to disguise it and make it look like I put my stamp on it. The adorable glasses man was behind it all. Oh, I'm on fire!
Well, Byakuya, what's your response?
I see. So now the suspicion falls on me.
Yes.
Then I must ask, when would you say I began acting suspicious? Surely you must have an answer.
Looking back and thinking about it now, the way you were acting right before we discovered the body was a little strange.
Yeah, he was hasty.
You wanted to go to the girls' locker room right away, right? But since you're a guy...
I should have naturally thought of the boys' locker room first. Is that what you want to say? The victim was Chihiro, a girl. Hence why I said we should check the girls' locker room.
How would you know?
Nothing strange about that, I'd say.
On the contrary, there's something very strange.
Okay then, what's so strange about it? Go ahead, share with the rest of the class.
Sure, I'll share. Absolutely. Next, we're going to add something called Truth Flashback. If you aim at a weak spot and hold down the left mouse button, there you'll memorize that weak spot. This memorized phrase can only be shot once as a single truth bullet. If you shoot or change the truth bullet, it will disappear from your truth cylinder. However, you can use this flashback feature as many times as you want. If you don't seem to have an answer, the answer to a lie comes tradition in your loaded truth bullets. It might be wise to memorize a different weak spot and use that to make your case. What's the best time to flashback? Well, you just have to use your keen wits, won't you? In this case, though, I'll say that if you don't use flashback, you won't be refuting anything. Well then, good luck. Okay, how are we gonna use this flashback? Hold it like a weak spot. Well, this is it.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
Okay, go back for the first one. Hearing back, there's a comment about you. Maybe it's
So,
that.
you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found his body. But he was acting weird...
Let's do it then.
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless distractions. What's so strange about that?
I wish you'd taken me with you.
So we found the flashback.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body. But he was acting weird... how?
If you're presented with
Let's
the
see if we fire it on
opportunity to
that.
check
If we fire it
out the
on first.
girls' locker room,
We're gonna take the
You
chance.
absolutely take it! That's a natural
Wow, that
reaction
hurt
for
her face
any
right
guy!
there.
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl.
shoot!
Okay, so we gotta
you said
do
Byakuya
flashback
was
there and
acting
come
kind
back
of weird
here.
before we found the body. But he was acting weird...
What did I think this should
how?
If you're presented with the opportunity to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro, who was a girl. So of course I would suggest we check the girls' locker room first. There was no time for pointless
Actually, maybe the
distractions.
first one.
What's so strange about that?
Actually, the first one, maybe. We can do the first one, too. let me do this.
So, you said Byakuya was acting kind of weird before we found the body.
Yeah, there we go.
But he was acting weird...
There we go, that's what we needed.
How?
Okay.
If you're presented
Sorry for the struggle, guys. We got it.
to check out the girls' locker room,
You absolutely take it! That's a natural reaction for any guy!
The victim was Chihiro.
There we go.
No, it's wrong.
How do we know it's Chihiro? That's the question.
I'll tell you what's so strange about that. Because up until we actually discovered the body, we couldn't have known who the victim was. So your claim that you went to the girls' locker room first because Chihiro was the victim doesn't hold up.
I see. That's a good answer, I must admit. Interesting. Very interesting indeed. But your reasoning is still too weak.
Huh?
What's wrong? Is that it? Surely you've got more than that. Go ahead. Show us.
Yep, I got more. It's like he doesn't even care. Got him cornered, he's acting like his...
What's the matter? You're not finished already, are you? There must be more to it.
There is. I think.
There is more to it. Think about it. We just talked about the differences between this case and past Genocide Jack incidents.
Yep.
The proof you're looking for is hidden in there.
Oh? Proof that I'm the culprit, you mean?
Let's find out. Could be a library desk line now. Or disappearance thing. Let's find out.
What? The difference between the cases? You want me to explain it again? When I want to kill, I use my very own special scissors. And I use those same scissors to arrange the body.
But Chihiro was suspended with... It was some kind of rope. Was it not?
That's right! It absolutely was!
Then there must be something very fishy indeed about that rope.
Hey, Byakuya, where'd you get it from, huh?
I'd never seen that rope before in my life.
Got ya. Not fooling me, boy! Come here!
Actually, I'm pretty sure you have seen it before. Because, you see, that rope, or should I say, that extension cord?
What? An extension cord?
Byakuya, you've used the extension cord in the library more than once, haven't you? And the same extension cord that was in the library all this time went missing after the murder. And there's no way someone who uses that extension cord as much as you do wouldn't discover that fact.
And Byakuya must be the one who took the extension cord. I can't imagine any other possibility.
That's really what you think? Then your conclusion is something like this? I killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, then hung her up and wrote that bloody message.
Killed her in the boys' locker room.
I intentionally made it look like Genocide Jack was behind it. Is that about right? What's wrong? I asked you if you think that's what happened.
Hell yes, that's what happened. So that's it, right? Byakuya's the killer.
I don't disagree with not disagreeing.
He kept calling this a game, right? So he'd be totally willing to do something like this to win.
Sorry, but could we hold on just a second? I think we need to talk about this a little more.
Huh? Do we really need to? We've already decided who did it.
I know, but still, there's something that's still bothering me.
I mean, it is, because he's smart. Like, I don't think he would have made those kind of errors.
Is that right? And what, pray tell, is still bothering you? I killed her in the girls' locker room, then disguised my crime.
Yeah, that's the problem. It wasn't in the girls' locker room.
Specifically, I dressed it up to make it look like it was the work of a homicidal psychopath.
He told somebody about the method, didn't you?
What about all that bothers you?
I got it!
Scene of the crime.
You say you killed Chihiro in the girls' locker room, right? But are you sure about that? Isn't it possible that the murder took place
This is why you
somewhere
go
else?
through clues, ladies and gentlemen. This is why.
How disappointing. What kind of question is that? Even in the world of disappointments, this is a true letdown.
Now let me finish.
She was found dead in the girls' locker room. There is absolutely no question about that.
Got a good point.
How could the scene of the crime have been anywhere else?
But I don't know, like,
Well,
I don't.
I think it's entirely possible that she was killed somewhere else, then carried there later, along with the rest of the murder scene.
The rest of the murder scene? That was awfully specific. Please tell me you have a reason for saying all of that.
Posters.
I believe I do.
Posters.
Hey! Don't just move on without permission! What do you mean she was killed somewhere else?
Come on, Makoto. If there's any chance the murder took place somewhere else, let's see the proof.
We have two pieces of proof. The coffee, or the stain. The switch. Well, that gives it away. Thanks, game.
I got it!
There we go. You got it,
The
boys.
proof that she was killed somewhere else is the poster that's hanging in each locker room.
Your proof is some posters?
The poster in the girls' locker room was a picture of a big boobed supermodel. But don't you think that's kind of strange? Why would the girls' locker room have a poster like that?
I bet those massive jugs of hers were totally fake!
Meanwhile, the boys' locker room had a poster of the super popular boy band Tornado. Again, that doesn't really seem to belong in a boys' locker room.
Yep, you're right. Well, maybe not in 2020, but when the game came out, yes.
So you're saying that maybe the posters were switched?
And there's one other thing I noticed about the locker rooms.
The stain.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Sakura?
You're referring to my protein coffee, aren't you?
Protein coffee?
While I was in the girls' locker room earlier, I spilled some protein coffee on the carpet. But I noticed that after the murder, the stain had been totally scrubbed away.
It was moved.
I got it!
We're on a roll,
The
boys.
stain on the girls' locker room carpet wasn't scrubbed away. In fact, I found it on the boys' locker room carpet.
That's definitely the stain from my protein coffee.
Then, does that mean that the carpets were switched too? But why would anyone do that?
To move the murder scene from one locker room to the other. It's certainly plausible, don't you think? What? In other words, in order to completely swap the scene of the crime, the blood-stained poster and carpet were moved along with the dead body. By doing this, the killer was able to change the entire room where the murder took place.
I can certainly follow your reasoning, but why would the culprit bother doing that?
And on somebody that shouldn't be.
Huh? Why would they go to all that trouble of switching the scene of the crime? Actually, an even bigger question. If the murder did take place in the boys' locker room, then how did Chihiro get in the boys' locker room in the first place?
That's a good
To
point.
get into the locker rooms, you have to swipe your e-handbook across the card reader device.
But Chihiro's card's missing.
But Chihiro's handbook should have only allowed her access to the girls' locker room. She had no way to get into the boys' locker room to begin with.
No, she did have a way, and I can tell you what it was.
I highly doubt that.
Shut up! I'm telling you, I know how she could have done it.
Probably, yeah. Possible. It's possible. The broken e-handbook is probably it. Yeah, that one's the one. Why did they make that obvious?
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook!
No.
She was the ultimate programmer, after all.
Possible.
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all.
E-handbook.
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all.
Let's see.
I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
It's gotta be the first one, right? Every first one.
Is it really possible?
She clearly didn't hack
Could
her
Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! Shoot!
Is it really possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course.
Shoot!
Maybe it was that. Maybe it was that. Maybe we're overcomplicating it.
Is
Maybe
it
it's just
really
broken
possible?
e-handbook.
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
Maybe it's his.
Is it really possible?
Yeah, this is the first chapter.
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, she could get into the boys' locker room
this
no
is it.
problem.
Here we go. No, this is it. Yeah, we got it. We have to go round first time.
Is
Here
it
we go.
really
We got it.
possible? Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it!
Yeah, these are more involved than I thought.
She must have hacked her e-handbook!
What?
Shoot!
Okay, so it's not that.
Is it really possible?
Or Leon.
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
Ah! I've got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer, after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook, of course. If she had that, She could get into the boys' locker room no problem.
That didn't work though. So let's listen to this. Theoretically, if Chihiro's able to use Leon's handbook, she can get into the boys' locker room. Yeah. Sure. That's if she's able to use it, but it's broken.
Is it really
That's why I
possible?
threw that, but it didn't.
Could Chihiro really have gotten into the boys' locker room somehow?
I got it! She must have hacked her e-handbook! She was the ultimate programmer after all. I'm sure that would have been no problem for her.
No, I don't think that's it. She used the thing that was in the main hall.
Huh? What thing?
I'm talking about Leon's handbook.
That was it.
No, that's wrong.
Kinda clicked it. Guess I didn't. Whatever, we got it. Whatever, we got it.
No, I don't think Chihiro
Either that or I
used Leon's
missed it. I
handbook.
might hit something else.
Why not?
Because Leon's handbook was broken.
Sorry.
Oh. Well, then, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty impossible, huh?
That was it. What?
I'm struck silent by how quickly you gave up.
Why did I struggle with that so much?
Plus,
Whatever.
isn't
We
there a
got it.
regulation against using someone else's handbooks?
I must have hit something else there or something, because I thought I used it on that.
Actually, the rule states that loaning your handbook is prohibited. It says nothing about borrowing one. In other words, you could borrow a dead person's handbook all you want, and you'd be safe.
Yup. Hit the nail square on the noggin.
Of course, if it were broken, that wouldn't make any sense anyway.
So then, she must have hacked hers, like I said. She used her ultimate programmer skills and...
Psst! You can't fix an e-handbook. The instant you open one up, a security buzzer starts blaring.
So, if she didn't use Leon's handbook, and she didn't modify her own handbook...
Maybe Mr. Naegi's initial assumption is just wrong?
It seems like there's no way she could have got into the boys' locker room. So I guess so.
Okay then, I vote for Byakuya.
Is that it? No.
Hold on a second.
Oh, no. She's gonna come.
I agree with you, though. I think you're on the right track.
What the? You finally decide to open your mouth and that's what you've got to say? There's no way she could get in the boys' locker room, right? So...
Why are you so sure she couldn't get in? There's still one other way she could have gained access.
What?
What are you talking about? What other way is there?
Well, to explain that, why don't we take a little break from the trial? I'd like you all to come see something.
Wait. Just what do you think you're doing?
Don't worry. This'll make the whole trial more exciting. I'm sure that thought must please you.
Huh? It'll make things more exciting?
Oh, yeah.
Well, all right then. I declare an official class trial recess.
Good God, yeah.
For real?
That's good, because that last part, oh boy, that was brutal.
Now then, what is it you want to show us? It better not be boring or I'll be very unhappy.
That must have been what happened, or I just completely...
Oh, I have no doubt it'll meet your
I don't know,
lofty
whatever.
expectations.
I'm so mad about
So,
that.
shall we go?
I'm so mad about that one. And the handsman one kind of sucked, because it was like a different word. And where she took us was... Okay. About this.
The girls' locker room?
We've already searched this place top to bottom! What are you trying to pull, Missy?
I'd like you to examine the victim's body one more time. Be sure to examine the entire body very carefully. Take your time.
Examine her carefully? Like using our hands?
Oh, Ben loves that.
No way!
It's probably best if I don't run my hands all over a girl's dead body.
It's not that I'm creeped out or anything, it's just... based on religious grounds, you know?
Very well. I'll do it.
But you're a girl. You shouldn't have to touch a dead body. Just let one of the boys do it.
No, it's okay. I think Chihiro would rather have a girl examine her. So just leave this to me.
Sakura. What is this? Some kind of secret girl-on-girl action? Is that what you two are about? That's not it at all. Stop screwing around.
Okay, here I
Man,
go.
what a twist.
I'm sorry, Chihiro. Please excuse the intrusion.
It looked like Toko, then Byakuya, and then now somebody else.
Be sure to check her entire body, and I believe we will solve this particular mystery.
Okay, good.
Her entire body? I know you say that, but... What? This is... What is this...
What is it?
Not possible. It's not possible.
Sakura's eyes are staring wildly as she hears lifeless form. Her massive frame trembles.
This girl is
what?
Is a boy!
Oh God! What a... She was a boy! It's a he, no way.
Ah, I see. So she was actually a he. Interesting. Thank you for confirming this.
That's why she wanted to be sure he now, because... Yeah, being... his size is pretty bad.
What?
You're joking, right?
I wouldn't joke about this.
Yeah, we don't need proof. We don't need proof. I think we got an idea.
It's really true? Chihiro was... a guy?
Oh, what? You guys didn't know? Heck, I knew that right off the bat. Chihiro Fujisaki was totally a guy.
He was a cross-dresser? Oh, the world's really on fire! I wish I had killed him!
So that's what Kyoko wanted to show everyone, huh? Interesting. Yes, that certainly does make things much more exciting. Now let's ride this wave of excitement back to the courtroom and get back to the trial.
Man, why are we giving this, like, before? Well, actually,
I do apologize for keeping you waiting. Now then, let's resume the class trial. We've all just learned of the shocking revelation that Chihiro was actually a boy. Let's pick up from there.
Yes, well, I don't know his reason for hiding it, but the fact is, Chihiro was not a girl, but a boy. And because the victim was male, he would have had no problem gaining access to the boys' locker room.
That's why she didn't want, or he didn't want to go with them, because he couldn't get in.
Assuming his handbook did, in fact, list his gender as male, then yes, that would be true.
Of course his handbook said he was a boy. He dressed like a girl, but he was a boy through and through.
So then, there should be no issue with Makoto's initial assertion. The victim was killed in the boys' locker room, and was then later moved to the girls' locker room.
She's our hero right now, though. I wish she would tell us this beforehand, but whatever.
And the killer could have easily used Sayaka or Junko's handbook to get into the girls' locker room.
So Chihiro really was killed in the boys' locker room?
I still don't understand the motive for moving the body, but yes, that does seem plausible.
Well, I must admit, I did find it rather odd. I knew he felt a little off. There was a certain incongruity to his female body.
This is the most titillating situation!
I mean, his body, though, is pretty small.
So now everything has been connected. All the mysteries have finally become clear.
Okay, well, connected or clear or whatever. We still think you're the killer, remember?
Very interesting. This has become
I don't
very
think so.
interesting
I think he told
indeed.
somebody. I mean, he did say that story.
He's off in his own little world.
What about you, Makoto? After everything we've learned, do you still think Byakuya's the killer?
No.
Well, without a doubt, Byakuya is the one that made Chihiro's death look like Genocide Jack did it. But
I don't think so.
I think he might not actually be the killer after all.
What? But aren't you the one who accused him in the first place?
He just seems to be too easygoing about all this. Like he's enjoying us solving the mystery. The way he's acting, It makes it seem like it doesn't have anything to do with him.
And you think that might be because it doesn't have anything to do with him?
Plus, the evidence he left behind was a little too... how can I put it? Overt. He consciously chose to use the extension cord, knowing it could connect him to the murder. At least, that's how I see it. And Byakuya, when you found out the murder took place in the boys' locker room, it seemed to rattle you. And then again when you found out Chihiro was actually a guy. If you really were the killer, that stuff wouldn't have had any effect on you.
So that's your thinking, huh? Well, it bothers me that you don't have more concrete reasons, but it's fine. I guess I'll mark it as correct for the time being.
Mark it as correct?
He's right. I am not the culprit. I just happened to come across the corpse in the girls' locker room and decided to alter it.
He really did do that.
Are you fucking with us right now?
That's why it makes sense. That's why there wasn't much there.
No, I am not effing with you right now. I'm telling you the truth.
Well, I find it very hard to believe.
Go ahead. Find it very hard to believe. You're free to be executed along with the rest of us.
If you're really telling the truth, then why? Why do you do that to his body?
My reasons hardly matter right now. Uncovering the culprit is much more important, wouldn't you say?
He really is about
now then,
making this fun.
If it wasn't me, who was it?
Well, I don't think I can say for sure without talking about it a little more.
You're seriously gonna keep going? We're all good, aren't we? I thought it was clear Byakuya did it.
Oh, hold up now. No. That's a loser's mentality right there. You smell real bad. You're sweating too.
No, I'm with Makoto. If there's any doubt whatsoever, we need to explore every possibility.
Hey, you're amazing, by the way.
Because if we're wrong, we all die here.
You're my hero.
That's true. Very well then. I'm with you too.
Damn straight. Count me in.
Do you not have a mind of your own?
Or maybe him too. Could be him.
Of course I do. What am I, an ant or something?
Anyway, let's discuss this all as a group one more time. We still have time to make our decision.
That's very true.
Our lives are all on the line.
Excellent. Then shall we resume our game of hide and seek?
Yes, let's. Killer is a guy.
I got it!
Obviously. Between the time both his parents left and the killer right back to use the line. In other words, it had to have been a guy. That's still not enough. We need to find some more clues. Alright, let's go. What do we got? Let's not mess up this time. Could be Celeste's account, or well, I think it's this one. Or it could be the lamp, but
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer! And only the killer!
oh, that's
And it's not like they're just gonna turn themselves in. Game over, man! Game over!
Yeah! No! Not game over!
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Well, clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some point. Even that might be enough for now.
Yeah, Celeste did.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over.
I think Celeste, I think that
You
might
want to
be
know
it,
who
what we
saw
have
the
right
victim?
here.
The killer! And only the killer!
No, that
And it's
I
not
think
like
that's
they're just gonna turn themselves in.
Exactly.
Game over, man! Game over!
Exactly.
Yeah! No! Not game over!
I think we got it.
Isn't there a single clue that might lead us to who did it?
Yeah, that's it. That's gotta be it.
Clues are one thing, but did nobody get a look at the killer?
I'm sure if someone saw the killer, they would have said something by now.
Perhaps someone saw the victim at some
Hoping
point.
this is right.
Even that
If
might
not,
be
then we
enough
gotta
for
look
now.
even further.
Yeah. All we need right now is any kind of new info.
It's over. It's all over. You want to know who saw the victim? The killer.
There we go.
No, it's wrong.
Bingo! Not messing up this time, like on the broken handbook. Don't
I
overthink
believe
it.
someone else did see the victim before he was murdered. What do you think, Celeste?
Now that you mention it, yes, I did see him.
Huh? Really?
Oh, but I suppose only Makoto knows about this. The rest of you had no idea, did you? That is why you're all making such ugly noises.
Whatever! Just hurry up and tell us!
It was last night, right before nighttime. I saw Chihiro in the dormitory warehouse. I saw him stuffing a track jacket into a duffel bag. And then, I assume, he headed off to exercise.
A track jacket and a duffel bag? But we didn't find anything like that at the murder scene.
It seems likely that the culprit destroyed them to get rid of any evidence.
And that is when he said something that struck me as rather odd.
I beg you going kind of in a hurry.
Chihiro told me he was in a hurry. But why would he be in a hurry? Only if someone were waiting for him, I should think.
So, Mr. Fujisaki was on his way to meet with someone, and then they were going to work out together?
But Hina and I had invited him to exercise with us plenty of times, and he always declined.
Probably because he was afraid you'd find out the secret he was hiding, right?
Which means that conversely, he must have trusted whoever he was meeting with very much. Enough so that he was willing to risk his secret being revealed.
What a marvelous friendship! The point is, whoever he met up with is the culprit, right? So we just gotta figure out who it was.
But knowing what we know, I can't even guess.
No. You already have what you need to make the connection.
Wait, what?
Huh?
What connection? Oh, wait a minute.
You know who the killer is.
Seriously?
Maybe him? I don't know.
Who is it? Who's the killer?
Think back to the track jacket and duffel bag the killer disposed of. Focus on the details of these items, and it should become obvious who was waiting for him.
Are you sure about that? You really think we can figure out who did it based on two pieces of evidence that we don't have?
I mean, it's a good point. Maybe it's Hifumi, because they're gonna propose to it.
What? You want to track down some fingerprints or something?
Even if we had the equipment for that, we wouldn't know how to use it.
As was noted, the evidence is already gone. There's nothing to get fingerprints from.
Maybe, but we can make certain inferences if we just take the time to talk it out.
Easy for you to say, but fine. Celeste, did you notice anything special about the bag or jacket?
The bag was just a normal duffel bag from the warehouse. All the bags in there are the same, so I can't imagine what would make that one special.
Well, if I remember right, there was a decent variety of tracksuits to choose from. Do you think there might be some connection between the culprit and Chihiro's jacket?
Perhaps. Let's explore that and talk a bit more about the jacket he took.
Yeah, please. About to say, I don't think I can make anything yet. I don't think we know anything about the jacket yet. Okay. This one might be one of those ones, but let's...
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, The killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it? First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed.
Not what he said.
He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit.
The tracksuit is black.
Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse,
black?
if you must know.
And white.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
It was either he had a white tracksuit personally.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
White tracksuit.
I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Wait, he said he got it from the
Did
warehouse.
any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out
Maybe that was
who the
it. Maybe it's
culprit
because he
is?
said that he got it
No
from
way.
the warehouse.
Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Got it from the warehouse. This is me now. Heard him right.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to
On his way to
ask,
go exercise.
why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Same blue tracksuit.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Someone said, like, there's two people that said stuff. One said that they got a black tracksuit, that their tracksuit is black, and one of them said it's white. Another said they must be wearing the same blue tracksuit as him. But why? Not even realizing. This
First
is
of all,
tough,
we
man.
know where
This is a
Chihiro was
really
headed.
tough one.
He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why
gonna be one
did
of
he
these
choose
for
the
sure.
specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit.
Black tracksuit.
Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a
This
chance.
is tough, man. Like, I'm lost right now.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
There's two people that said stuff without realizing it. One said they have a white, one person, they got it from the warehouse, which is sus. It means maybe they got it because they were going to do the same thing there, so they went to their house. So the blue must have the same blue. Yeah, this is tough, man. I don't know if I want to keep it going, though. I might pause to try and figure it out, but at the same time I don't want to, because I want you guys to see me struggle through this here. I'm trying to think, because one of them said that it's kind of a black tracksuit. Tracksuit is black. What is that infer? What do we get from any of this? What do we get?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he
We're in
did?
trouble. I'm not
What
gonna
do you
figure this
mean,
out.
the specific tracksuit?
Oh, God.
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Shoot! First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even
that
have
was
a
it.
tracksuit. Because exercising
Because he said
sucks.
it out of nowhere.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did
I
any
feel
of
like that
that
was
really
it.
help us get any
I feel like it
closer
was
to
actually
figuring out
Moto
who
right
the
there, but
culprit
we're running out
is?
of time.
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
He said he was wearing a... His is black to throw everyone off. That would make sense, but...
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask,
I can't figure it out. I literally can't figure that one out yet. But it must be something to do with him. That wasn't it. That wasn't it. Yeah, we're gonna get it.
I refuse to give up yet.
Man, this one's tougher than the first one. The first one frickin' was so easy in comparison. It must be him, because, like, he said that as soon as he said that, oh, the killer must have a blue one, so I'm gonna say black to avoid attention. But it's the same thing, that other guy said that too.
first of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask,
He didn't do anything.
why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he
No,
did?
it's only those words.
What do you
Only
mean,
those
the
words.
specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out
One of
who
those
the
two,
culprit
but
is?
I'm trying to figure out what
No
we
way.
did to prove it.
Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
And the guy from the warehouse, that could be it too. And that's possible as well. Like, it's just the problem with this one. This is so tough. Like, both of them are kind of off, but...
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask,
Way to go exercise.
why did he
Exercise is not
choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific
for
tracksuit?
exercise.
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
Maybe he was getting it for somebody.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
It says tracksuit black. Man, I'm having a hard time. I'm sorry, guys. I'm really sorry.
First of all,
I might
we
cut
know
it
where
there.
Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise.
Yeah,
So
exercise.
next we have to ask,
There's exercise.
why did he
Nothing wrong
choose
with
the
that. Nothing to
specific
get-
tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Guy from the warehouse.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No
This is
way.
not a clue, but
Not a chance.
less account doesn't help.
You heard him, right?
Doesn't help.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask,
Less account.
why did he
That's
choose
fine.
the
No.
specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
Maybe not to be seen?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Blue tracksuit.
I don't even have a tracksuit.
Blue tracksuit.
Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit
Black,
personally.
white tracksuit.
I got it from
White
the
tracksuit,
warehouse, if you
warehouse.
must know.
Guy from the warehouse.
Did any of that really help us get any closer
or
to
that
figuring
guy?
out who the culprit is?
Guy from the warehouse.
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
He says tracksuit was black. I don't know what that would do, though. With the case. And again, Mondo was actually all for helping her, so, or him now, so. Gotta be something with him. Gotta be something with him. What is it?
First of all, we
Tracksuit,
know
I
where
don't know.
Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
There's
next
something
we
there.
have to ask, why did he choose the specific...
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
Black, blue.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
Let's see.
You heard him, right? First of all, we know where Chihiro was
Try
headed.
this.
He was
We're
on
gonna try
his way to go
everything.
exercise.
Figure it out eventually, guys.
So
You'll see
next
the
we have to
struggle here.
ask, why did he
We're gonna
choose
fail
the
more than that
specific
first one
tracksuit that
because
he
of
did?
this scene.
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? Shoot!
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
That's fine. Yeah.
So next we have to ask,
There's no contradiction there.
why did he choose the
But the
specific
thing is that
tracksuit
it
that he
doesn't
did?
mean that the killer
What do you
was
mean,
wearing
the
a
specific
blue
tracksuit?
That's the thing.
I got it!
That's not what
He
it
picked
means.
that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Exercise on
I don't even have a tracksuit.
That's terrible. This is rough. This is rough. We're gonna have to really... We're gonna have to figure it out eventually. I'm gonna struggle. I'm gonna do it. Let me just skip through all this. Oh yeah.
I refuse to give up yet!
We're not gonna give up yet. No sir. I wanna get this. I'm determined. Man, this is tough though. Somebody's saying something off. Contradiction somewhere in these statements. It's not. None of these will help. Library desk lamp's not gonna help. Disappearing stain. Celeste account. Would that help in any way?
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So
There's
next
no
we
way
have to ask,
Celeste's account was.
why did he choose the specific
Yeah, we already
tracksuit that he
used
did?
it too. So.
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
White tracksuit. He is a white.
Shoot!
He has a white tracksuit.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
We know exercise. That's
So
not
next we have to ask,
anything.
why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse,
Try
if
this
you must
scene.
know.
Try this one.
Did any of that really help us get any closer?
We're gonna get it
to figuring out
eventually. There's
who
not
the
that
culprit
many
is?
things that could be it.
No way. Not a chance.
White tracksuit.
You heard him right. First of all, we know where Chihiro
Maybe
was
this
headed.
one. Let's see.
He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Shoot!
Not that either. Man, this is ridiculous.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
Shoot! So that failed.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Yeah, exercise.
So next we have to
But
ask,
how's that gonna help us? That
why
word
did he
exercise
choose
isn't
the
gonna help.
specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you
God,
mean,
I
the
don't think so.
specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same
White
blue
tracksuit
tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us
Maybe
get any
this guy's
closer to
black.
figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right?
That's right. Gonna keep
First of all,
trying.
we
Gotta
know
find,
where Chihiro was
find
headed.
something eventually.
He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was
Got it
wearing!
from the warehouse, so maybe it's not.
So,
maybe
what
it's
you're
lacking.
saying
But
is,
yeah, it's not-
the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Man, what is it?
Shoot!
It's not that. I don't know where the
First of all,
somewhere
we
is.
know
I'd
where
love to
Chihiro
know
was
where.
headed.
I'd love
He
to
was
know where
on
that
his way to go
somewhere is.
exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
I don't want to look it up, but
So, what you're saying
time
is,
is I'm struggling.
the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
That's not gonna help us.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
The blue one doesn't do
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Someone said they got it from the warehouse. Someone says they don't even have a tracksuit. So that is I'm really stuck. So exercise, the word exercise isn't going to help with anything. My tracksuit is black. I can't really do anything about that. Unless I know something more. But I don't think I've seen anyone in the tracksuit.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
Blue tracksuit.
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit.
I'm just gonna shoot this last
Cause
one,
exercising
so
sucks.
probably not.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
Yeah, I don't.
Shoot!
Like, what other We got
First of all,
exercise.
we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that.
Yeah, this is brutal, dude. I'm just gonna say that. Oh, this is nice.
It matched the one the culprit was wearing!
There's no way to prove that. Jesus Christ, man. I gotta figure it out. I don't wanna get the answer, but I don't wanna also, like, frickin' be stuck forever, too, because I gotta go back to it some
I refuse to give up yet!
That's the thing I gotta do, otherwise I'm gonna be screwed for tomorrow, so, let's see. So we did a lot of different combinations. We did blue on the black and the white. We did the white on the black and the blue. We did the black on the blue. I think I did the black on the blue.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
Shoot!
I'm trying to think, man. It's so tough, dude, to think so
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So next we have to
Go on
ask,
his way to exercise.
why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
Flashback here, clearly. You need a flashback.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it?
This was like a hint or something for this. Like, that's better than this. This is like something off about what he said.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask,
I'm literally just,
why did he choose
out,
the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
It's not that, though.
Shoot!
It's not white to black. Not black to white.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? First of all...
Jesus, okay, so what do we have? We need to really think. So we have exercise. Exercise. We have blue tracksuit, and there's nothing wrong with that sense. But, like, there's nothing really... There's two people saying they have a tracksuit. One's saying their tracksuit is black, and then one's saying their tracksuit is white. So that's what we're given throughout all that. I mean, they're both kind of off, though. I mean, it's more so Mondo, though, for me, because you don't say you have a... You say, oh, the killer should be wearing a blue one to match, and then you say, oh, I'm wearing a black one. Like, that just sounds suspicious to me. If I'm reading that, it's like... Why would you say that immediately, like that after it? Problem is, we can't really prove that... I tried that, didn't I? I tried that on there. What else could it be? Can't be that many more combinations, but it's like... Well, it's just he's on his way to go exercise, but... It could be. She could be leading everybody astray. I don't even know, man. Let's keep going. Okay, let's try this on that one again.
He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
Wait a minute.
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is,
exercise.
The killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
The first statement...
I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit
I
is?
don't think it's her, but it might be.
No way.
Try this.
Not a chance.
Blindly throw it, because I'm stuck right now.
You heard him. First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise.
I don't know what you know I have no idea what I'm doing.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that.
Oh, this is tough, dude. This is really tough. Because I don't want to look it up, but at the same time, it's like, I'm just stuck. Like I said, somebody set something off, which I can see. I can see that.
I refuse to give up yet.
They're both kind of fishy. Like, it's not just one in particular. Both are fishy for kind of... It's none of our clues. None of our clues. None of them. I know that for certain now. Exercise is not going to have to do anything.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit, personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit, personally.
X on that, X on that.
Shoot! First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him?
Try everything.
My tracksuit is black.
Just blind me fire and then try everything.
Shoot!
Oh, no, I already did that like 20 minutes. I was saying.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
4 keywords, that's it.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit, personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
This account might help there. We might try that again.
You heard him right. First of all, we know where Chihiro was headed. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing.
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Because exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit, personally.
class, and well, I figured that it can't be used if we used it before. So, like, I just don't have anything.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
Try exercise with
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even... First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
Exercise, my tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally.
Exercise in white.
Shoot!
Somebody's...
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black!
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way.
Is there something else we're missing? Because the stain does nothing, Celestial Scout does nothing, the lamp does nothing to it. Wait a minute. The lamp. Well, no, that does nothing. That's not gonna do anything. That was supposed to be I want to pass it.
I refuse to give up yet!
But it's like, do I have to look it up? I'd rather not, dude. That would ruin the fun for me. Might have to, though. I'm not at like a dead end right now. Might literally have to, unless I can like come up with a miracle. Set library desk lamp, disappearing stain, plus nothing there.
First of all, we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same blue tracksuit as him? My tracksuit is black.
I don't even have a tracksuit. Cause exercising sucks.
I have a white tracksuit personally. I got it from the warehouse, if you must know.
Did any of that really help us get any closer to figuring out who the culprit is?
No way. Not a chance.
You heard him, right? What he just said without even realizing it? we know where Chihiro was heading. He was on his way to go exercise. So next we have to ask, why did he choose the specific tracksuit that he did?
What do you mean, the specific tracksuit?
I got it! He picked that tracksuit because it matched the one the culprit was wearing!
So, what you're saying is, the killer was wearing the same...
No, it's wrong!
That was it. How was that? Like, where did you get that from?
Hold on a second, Mondo. What did you just say?
Huh? What'd I say?
When Celeste testified a few minutes ago, she said... She never said anything about the jacket's color.
Oh. Crap.
So why did you say Chihiro's blue tracksuit?
Oh, I feel dumb.
What are you... You just...
I feel dumb now.
Hey, Celeste, what color was Chihiro's tracksuit?
As a matter of fact, it was blue.
It was. God damn. He
And before we began the trial, did you tell anyone that?
The only one I told about any of this was you.
Then, Mondo, how did you know what color Chihiro's tracksuit was?
Wow, you just fire up.
Because I just... I'm sure he saw the clothes at some point in the investigation.
No, that can't be it. The bag and clothes were surely disposed of by the time we began our investigation.
Well, I'm sorry, guys, for being an idiot. I apologize.
Then the only reason he could have known what color the tracksuit was
I should have paid attention to that. I did not.
is if he saw Cherry with it before he died. That's the only possibility.
The only reason I think I didn't think that was because the thing showed blue, and I was like, oh, we probably knew that. I feel
Are
bad
you
now.
talking about Chihiro? So, how about it? Did you see the tracksuit or didn't you?
Just by chance. I just happened to see it last night. He walked past me, and he was carrying the tracksuit in his hands.
No, that can't be it either. According to Celeste's testimony, when Celeste noticed it, Chihiro made a point of making sure the jacket was completely in the bag. If you just ran into him briefly, you couldn't possibly have seen what color the tracksuit was.
It would appear you've dug your own grave.
Perhaps. But you handed him the shovel, didn't you? That's why you said what you did. Focus on the tracksuit and it'll be obvious who he met with? What a bunch of nonsense.
Ah, now I understand. It was all one big bluff, wasn't it? Your true intention was to draw a slip of the tongue from the culprit. That's why you said you knew who did it, to put them on edge.
That's right. However, Mondo was my target all along. I had my suspicions about him from the very beginning.
But why? What made you so suspicious?
That's a good question. There was a certain turning point that tipped me off. Maybe you didn't notice it, Mondo, but you tend to refer to men and women differently. You only call guys dude. For girls, it's chick. And after he was killed, you happened to refer to him as dude.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Once I picked up on that, it occurred to me that Mondo knew something we didn't.
You noticed such a tiny detail?
Are you a witch? She's a witch! You're positively frightful!
No, I'm not the frightful one. Not nearly as frightful as someone capable of murdering a friend.
Mondo, was it really you?
Looks like
Did you really kill Chihiro?
I didn't kill anyone! You've been all over me, judging everything I say, putting words in my mouth. What gives you the right to treat me like a goddamn criminal?
Yeah! He would never do something like that! This is a false accusation!
It's true. My reasoning on that is pretty shaky.
Yeah.
That was fast.
Well, this does present us with a problem. It seems we are all out of leads.
God, that was awkward.
My time has nearly come. That's what my little ghost friend is telling me.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. Hifumi, weren't you telling me you found some evidence?
Really? What kind of evidence?
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it here calmly, it might not be all that relevant.
Come on, give it.
Jeez, does your confidence just get up and walk away? It's fine, man. Just tell us.
If you really insist, then... Here it is.
What do you have there?
It happens to be an e-handbook. I found it laying on the ground, so I scooped it up.
That's where it is. Heroes.
I got it!
Obviously. That's
You know
obvious.
Chihiro's handbook was missing from the scene of the crime, right?
For a fact.
For a fact indeed. I was totally sure I'd found it.
Then it must hold some clue about the culprit, right?
Well, that's what I was hoping. But it's busted. It won't even turn on.
I imagine the culprit broke it to get rid of any evidence after the murder.
That's odd. I didn't think the handbooks were quite so fragile.
You're right. They're not. They're totally waterproof and shock resistant. It would take an awful lot to break one.
And yet, this one does appear to be broken, as is Leon's, sitting useless in the main hall. For all your confidence, that is a remarkably high failure rate.
Do you think there might be some kind of mystery in there somewhere? How precisely did the handbooks get broken?
I mean, so the handbook, there's a weak point. You did say the weak point, so
You already told us before that the handbook has one weak point, didn't you?
Yeah! You remember that? Sure, maybe I let that slip, but I never told anyone what the weak point actually was.
But if the handbook is supposed to never break, and two of them broke in quick succession, then
Then we can only assume that someone's figured out its weakness. You know what the weakness is, right, Monokuma? So, what is it?
You're asking me?
yeah, we need to know.
I think it's a necessary piece of information if we want this to be a fair trial.
But if I tell you, and someone else decides to copy it, that would be very not good.
Just tell us already! Why would we want to break our own handbooks?
Oh well, I have a weakness for pushy demands. But you're sure you won't follow their example?
100%.
Then allow me to make a special announcement. The weak point of my cutting-edge e-handbook is... when it's exposed to high temperatures for too long, it will suffer a meltdown
He was
and
in the
totally
sauna.
break!
That's why he had him in the sauna. There's the case closed, boys.
I flippin' knew it!
You knew it?
Yeah, because I found the handbook laying on the floor of the sauna.
And he was in the sauna.
The temperature in the sauna can reach over 200 degrees. Strange how you don't get burnt, huh? It's because as your sweat evaporates, it creates a cooling layer of air around your skin. If the hot air of the sauna were somehow pushed directly onto your skin, you'd definitely get fried. That layer of air would get blown away. That's why you may feel a burning when you move around. So when you're in a sauna, make sure to keep nice and still.
Interesting. I learned one new fact today.
That is a mere trifling speck of knowledge.
Does Mondo's work then? That'll be case closed.
Anyway, if you found the victim's handbook in the sauna, then the killer must have been purposely trying to raise its temperature in order to break it.
meaning the culprit somehow knew its weakness.
But how'd they find out? Monokuma said he didn't tell anyone, right?
Indeed. Quite the
Because they were in
mystery.
the sauna.
What if they found out by accident?
Yes, they did.
What do you mean by accident?
What if the killer took their own handbook into the sauna, not knowing its weakness, and it broke?
Yep.
They'd realize it was broken, of course, and it wouldn't be hard to figure out why. And once they had Chihiro's handbook, they knew they had an easy way to dispose of it.
I won't say it's not possible, but who would have done something like that?
I know.
I don't know of anyone who took their handbook into the sauna.
I might know someone who did.
Whoa! Seriously?
I think the one who may have taken their handbook into the sauna was...
Mondo did, didn't he? Or is it the other guy? Let's find out.
Here's my answer! Mondo, your handbook got broken in the sauna, didn't it?
What? Why? Why do you keep accusing him?
He's trying to protect him.
Mondo and Taka had an endurance contest in the sauna not too long ago, remember?
Yep.
And for the contest, Mondo just so happened to keep his school uniform on.
Yep, he did.
But little did he realize, he'd also left his handbook in one of his uniform pockets. And when it was all over, Mondo discovered that taking your handbook into the sauna could easily destroy it.
No, wait, hold on! You've got it all wrong! He would never kill! I don't accept this! Show me the proof! The actual solid proof!
Counts on. Oh, here we go again. Card reader. Oh, let's see.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
Maybe the card reader.
See? Look!
Maybe the card reader
Makoto
might
was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
I'm thinking the card reader might do it.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
See? Look! Makoto was wrong after all! Mondo wouldn't hurt a fly!
Did I miss something? If you like hit nothing. Yeah, I think it's the card reader.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is actually broken, then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook works just fine!
Shoot!
Not the card reader when created.
Let's test Makoto's assertion. If what he says is correct, then Mondo, you broke your own handbook.
Maybe the broken one.
In other words, if Mondo's handbook is
Maybe the
actually
broken one is
broken,
his.
then that proves that what Makoto said is right.
Well, my goddamn handbook...
Yep, here we go.
No,
Got
what's
it.
wrong?
The broken one must be his then.
Mondo, the handbook you have right now, is it really yours?
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
I was just thinking the card reader because like then you can test it, but then again, yeah, that's a good point.
The broken handbook that was in the main hall, isn't that one actually yours?
What the heck are you talking about?
What I mean is, I think Mondo swapped his handbook out for one that actually works. I think he took Leon's handbook and replaced it with his own. After all, Monokuma said himself that Leon's handbook never should have broken.
That's right! The punishment it suffered wasn't nearly enough to destroy it.
So then, the broken handbook in the main hall is actually Mondo's, which would mean that the handbook Mondo has right now is actually Leon's, yes?
But doesn't that violate the school regulation that says loaning out your handbook is prohibited?
Well, he's dead, so he's not really...
Well, here's how I look at it. There is a rule about loaning your handbook to another student, but if they're dead, they're not a student. It's kind of a gray area, I admit. But no worries. If anything, it just makes things more interesting. As such, I decree that exchanging handbooks with a corpse is not a violation of the rules.
Well, Mondo, if I'm wrong about this, you're welcome to say so.
Yeah, prove it right here.
I'm happy to admit I made a mistake, but...
Son of a bitch! What's wrong, bro? Come on! Tell him he's wrong! You are wrong! You have to be wrong!
Nah, he's not wrong.
Everything you just said is wrong! You made it all up!
Okay, then why don't we look back on this case one more time, from the beginning? That way, everything will become clear, and we'll all see if I was right or wrong.
Alright, excellent. Let's do that. fit there. Not gonna kill you. Obviously. This. Not that. That was not using this thing. Okay. As the murder took place, some spider on this. Yeah, that. Obviously. Or is it just... This is correct. I mean, it looks right. Here's what happened.
Here's exactly what happened. First, let's take a look back to before the incident. Last night, Celeste saw Chihiro in the warehouse, correct?
Yes.
At the time, she was apparently stuffing something into a duffel bag.
Yes.
That something was a blue tracksuit. You can confirm this, right, Celeste? With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
That's not correct right there. The thing, yeah. Or is it this?
Here's exactly what happened!
I'll take it right. Was it that one instead?
With bag in hand, Chihiro headed out, even though it was officially nighttime. She made her way to the locker room, specifically the boys' locker room. But how could the victim, who was apparently a girl, access the boys' locker room?
Yep, there we go. Nailed it. Okay. Messed up on that.
Simple. Because she was really a he. Which is why he was able to use his own e-handbook to gain entrance to the boys' locker room. Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. Here's exactly what happened.
Let's try again.
Once inside, he met with someone there. And the person he met was the one who killed him. It seems likely that the killer grabbed the nearby dumbbell, approached the unsuspecting Chihiro, and attacked him.
No, it must have been
The killer is
Let's
you!
try again.
And attacked him.
There we go.
And that's where the bloodstains on the poster and carpeting in the boys' locker room came from. It was likely in the heat of the moment. The body was arranged, but the murder itself felt unplanned. Which is why the killer hurried to try and hide the act. First, pulling up the bloodstained carpet, then removing the bloody poster, and finally carrying the corpse into the girls' locker room. A girl's handbook was necessary to get into the locker room, of course, but this alone doesn't prove that the killer was necessarily a girl. After all, Sayaka and Junko's handbooks had been placed in the main hall. Using one of those, a boy could get into the girls' locker room without much problem. And that's exactly how the killer did it. With the carpet and the poster they brought with them, they got to work. They changed the layout of the boys' and girls' locker room in what you might call a crime scene switch. That could have been the end of things, but no. Byakuya discovered the body and decided to intervene in the situation, making things even more complicated. So, after stumbling on the crime scene, he went and grabbed the extension cord from the library, and then he got to work. He used the cord to string up Chihiro's lifeless body. Then, using the victim's own blood, he left a grisly message there at the scene of the crime. He wanted to create the illusion that Genocide Jack was responsible for the slaughter. And around the same time that Byakuya was putting together this facade, the killer, having already disposed of Chihiro's bag and other belongings, arrived at the sauna. There, they planned to destroy the last piece of evidence, Chihiro's handbook. And just as the killer expected, the steamy sauna was enough to ruin the electronic gadget. Somehow, the killer knew that the handbook couldn't stand up to the heat of the sauna. And the reason they knew that is because the sauna had already wrecked their own handbook. And that's how it all played out.
Got him. Now we got
Isn't that right, Mondo Orada?
That was a tough one, wasn't it? Especially that one scene, man. That one scene was brutal.
Wait! No! This can't be right! Where's your evidence? Yeah! Where's your evidence? You need evidence! You need proof! Without any proof, you can't pin any of this on him!
Let's talk about that more. Fever time and nega time. During a bullet time battle, if you press the space key, fever time will activate and tempo will be forced to max. At this point, even if you push the buttons at random, you won't miss. So you can push RB, LB, RB, LB, however you want to destroy the opponent's verbal assault. This only lasts until your focus stage runs out, so make the best possible use of your time. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if you only got access to special time, right? So you've also created something called nega time that your opponents can use. opponent activates anytime during the type of marker will disappear, making it quite tough to hit the buttons with it. If it were to activate fever time at this point, no, never mind. I'm sure nothing would happen. Surprising, if your action difficulty sent to death. Well, we're gonna deal with that. Okay, it's gonna make it even harder now. Like we struggled with the first time.
Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! I refuse to vote! Show me some evidence! You're wrong! I won't listen! I refute you! False! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! You're corrupt! I refuse to vote! I refute you! False! You're corrupt! Show me some evidence! I won't listen! Show me—
This should prove it!
Got him! Boom! Hey! Let's go, guys. We got him.
If my thinking so far is right...
We nailed it first try this time. I wasn't gonna get fooled on that again. I didn't even realize there was a right plus button now. Now I know for sure.
Mondo must have replaced his broken handbook with Leon's. In which case, we can just check each of our handbooks right now. Once we do that, we'll...
We don't gotta do that.
Huh?
Yeah. I did it. I killed him.
Well, C, A, C, A, B, A. We still got an A despite all that failure. Shockingly. Excellent. Alright. Wasn't our best run.
Bro! What are you saying?
I got no choice, man. After hearing all that, I gotta just... give up. Go ahead, Monokuma. Get it over with. Ask for the goddamn verdict.
Roger that!
Wait! Hold on!
No waiting! No holding on! Time for the moment we've all been waiting for! Grab your lever and give it a yank! Who will you elect as the Blackened this time around? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
That was tough. They made that complicated. Especially that one scene. Like I said, that one scene was what really screwed me over that time. But...
What?
Uh-oh, this time looks like you got it right again. Yes, it is so. Black and that killed Chiro Fukusaki. Mondo Uwada.
Unbelievable.
I refuse to believe it. There's no way. Bros. Sorry. Bro code doesn't work.
What is this?
Why? What did you do?
Now then.
Well, it looks like Mondo's taking a vow of silence, so let me explain it.
Actually...
The story of the murder this time is the sad story of two men. But for anyone who doesn't want to hear it, you can hit the control key to fast forward through the text. Nah, we won't. We're gonna hear it. Might as well. I'm gonna be up till like midnight. Anyway, there once was a young boy. His name was Shihiro Fujisaki. He had an extremely inferiority complex regarding his own lack of strength. So weak, even though you're a boy. He'd heard things like that as long as he could remember, and he couldn't overcome his weakness. On the contrary, he tried to hide and bury himself further and further into that weakness, to take on the fragile form of a petite young girl. He had chosen that as his way out. Now nobody will be saying anything about even though you are a boy. But no matter how tightly he wrapped himself up in that shell, the inferiority complex had already taken root deep inside of him. It was not so easily weeded out. As it turned out, the shell was completely empty. complex in despair. Instead, it only grew stronger and stronger.
Weak.
Once the killing game had begun here at the school, he had no choice but to accept this fact. After all, this world is the survival of the fittest. If you are not strong, you don't survive. And then the lovely and hateful Monokuma announced the revealing of the embarrassing secrets, which of course included Chihiro's embarrassing secret, which I was more than willing to divulge. Even though he dresses like girls, Chihiro is actually a boy.
Hey,
That was something Chihiro couldn't let anyone find out no matter the cost. If that was revealed, it would be the end. The hardened shell would crack, the armor would fall away. Without a doubt, those around him would torture him more than ever before. Everyone figured being thrust into such a dilemma must have set him spiraling into despair.
What?
And yet...
I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't even want to talk.
But...
I also don't want to leave things the way they are, so maybe I can talk about it later. After I try my best to come strong. Annoyingly, he used to thread discovery and motivate himself to become stronger.
That's right.
Now's my
I
chance.
want to change.
Except who I am strong enough so that when anyone says, even though you're a boy, I'll be okay, I'll get better. With that thought at the front of his mind, he resolved to take immediate action, so... That day, he made the commitment to begin exercising. He was prepared to retrain his mind and body, but sadly, that'd be the first and only chance he would get at it.
hey,
When he decided to start exercising, he thought it would be good to ask for someone's help, but he wanted to tell that person a secret first, and then ask him to help him from there. And the person he went to...
Yeah, that's right.
It was me. Biker gang fella had been painfully clear about how important his manly promises were, so Sujiro probably figured that even if he confided in Mondo, his honor would make him keep the secret.
uh-huh.
Plus, Macho Mondo was the very symbol of a strong man that Chihiro had always inspired to. Maybe talking to Mondo about it will help give me some courage. So he went and asked Mondo to help him become strong. That was his aspiration, and he thought that only with Mondo's support would he ever be able to come close to him.
Correct.
So then, that must be why Mom did what he did, to keep the promise that he made to Chihiro. I mean, that's why Mom carried Chihiro from the boys' locker room to the girls'.
Indeed.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Was that to cover up what he'd done?
Certainly.
It could have been part of it, but I don't think it was the main reason. The real part is to keep the promise between men he made to Chihiro.
But...
How's moving the body keep...
Because
everyone knew he'd been killed in the boys' locker room, and everyone would have been arguing about how she got into the boys' locker room, right? Once that started up, at least a few of us would have immediately begun to suspect his identity, so he tried to protect Chihiro's secret by putting him in the girls' locker room and stealing his handbook, see? Then Mondo did all that to keep the promise he made to Chihiro, who he would also kill. Why would he do that? The more I hear you talk, the more I don't understand. I mean, you guys trusted each other, right? So why? Why did you? Because no matter what, I didn't want anyone to know.
I knew it.
So that's what triggered it after all. Possibly having your embarrassing memories and secrets exposed.
What is this?
It's impossible. Nothing could have been that bad. Something you didn't want anyone to know, even if it meant...
You're wrong!
It's impossible.
Don't make me repeat myself.
How many times must I repeat? Judge others by your own standards, the height of folly. Even if you can't comprehend it, you obviously can. That's all there is to it. Oh, while we're on the subject, why don't I tell you? That embarrassing memory, that secret you didn't want anyone to know?
Hey,
You know what Mondo did? He killed us. Oh, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. Saw the hoodlums and riffraff across the country tremble, but the only reason he had the chance to join a gang in the first place is because of certain someone, his brother. Daya Owada. Mondo had nothing but respect for him. It's because of Daya that Mondo ever got on the motorcycle. Mondo's brother was his only family growing up. He was the only one Mondo could trust and respect. He wanted to measure up to his big brother, so he imitated him in everything he did. Mondo was the epitome of the starry-eyed kid brother. Meanwhile, the charismatic older brother had put together a local motorcycle gang, and before anyone knew it, it had grown into the biggest biker gang in the country. Daya, the older brother, #1 in the gang, His number 2, his younger brother Mondo. In the beginning, everything was peaches and gravy. When Mondo started thinking about how he would have to take over the game from his brother someday, his brother's greatness, his reputation gave it a gnaw on Mondo's very soul. The kid's gonna take over for Daya. Daya created this game with his bare hands. Mondo's just along for the ride. Can someone like that really be our leader? And that'll do. And all that'll do is make the game look better. Almost every day, Mondo heard the gossip and whispers of the other members of the gang, which is why
I just...
gotta get stronger than Daya. Once, just one time. No matter what, I gotta...
Don't fuck with me!
Whatever it takes, I gotta come out on top. On the night of his amazing brother's retirement ceremony, Mondo challenged him to a street race. During the race, a tragedy struck. The kid brother pushed ahead with reckless abandon. Eager for victory, and dashed his coming beside him. His brother saved him. In his kid brother's arm, the older brother delivered his final words. "My bad, kid. I effed up. Sorry." Of course, he knew it was his brother's fault, but Daya never blamed him for what happened. "Hey, kid, the rest is up to you. No matter what, you gotta keep the gang together. Because it's the team you and me put together. It's a promise between men." He decided to hide the truth of what happened from everyone else in the gang. In order to keep the gang together and keep the promise to his brother, he never admit to anyone that was his own weakness that had caused the accident. And as a result, the team was made even stronger under the banner of the kid who bested his big brother. Daya was going to lose to his kid brother, so he got stupid and got himself killed. That became the explanation for what happened. Mondo's lie became the truth. He wanted to lead the team so bad he's willing to tell all kinds of lies about his brother.
I just...
Strong. And yet... as soon as our killing game began, he realized, no matter how tough he pretended to be, he was just another weakling that could die in an instant. And then the hateful Monokuma announced really embarrassed him. At that point, it was clear I'd have no problem shedding light on this secret. Mono killed his own older brother. No matter what, I couldn't let the other gang members find out. If that happened, everything would have been ruined. Everything me and my brother had worked to create would have been destroyed. His death, all the guilt I've been carrying around, it would have been for nothing. So that's why saw what Monokuma had on me, my head filled up with a kind of fuzzy uneasiness and just started swirling around. I never felt anything like it before.
I just...
didn't know what to do about it. Wasn't sure what to think or say, but after a while, the fuzzy uneasiness turned itself into a rock-hard lump of anxiety way down in my stomach, and it was right around then that Chihiro asked me to start working out with him. And right there, he told me a secret. Seriously, Jesus?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry I lied to you. Why? Why now? Why are you telling me this all of a sudden?
Huh?
I mean, you kept that secret all this time, right? If anyone had found out, you would...
But...
You're right, but...
I want to change.
Wrap myself in lies, I'm weak. I want to destroy that version of me forever. I feel like he's exposing why I've been living myself. I have to change. I don't want to be weak anymore. You're so strong, can't hurt you, right? Whatever secret Monokuma might tell us.
You piece of...
So what? You're saying I should just say it?
What?
You're saying if I really am, I should just be able to tell everyone my secret? Huh? I was jealous. I was jealous of Shihiro's strength. He had the strength to face his own weakness, to try and overcome it. It was the kind of strength I never had. So I was jealous of him, and that jealousy broke me.
What?
What, are you making fun of me? I'm strong. Are you effing with me right now?
No!
I'm making fun of you. You really are strong, Mama. I felt like I hear something starting to creak. Something inside of me. What did he want me to do? What was I supposed to do? Was I supposed to just sit back, let my secret get revealed, and ruin everything?
What's wrong?
Damn you!
Why'd you have to tell me that? Are you trying to rub my failure in my face?
I just wanted to...
I just really admire you. Admire your strength.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right, I am strong. I'm strong. Stronger than you.
You son of a bitch!
Stronger than Daya. Don't remember anything after that. When I woke up again, he was lying at my feet, covered in blood. I had the dumb hell in my hand, and I was just staring at him, down on the ground. Hey.
I
killed him.
I killed Chihiro. Even after all this time, I'm still just as weak as I've always been.
You know, that's a good point. Strength is bad for admitting a weakness and trying to overcome it.
And thanks to that, I did something I can never take back.
Man, his secret. Look at him, you see? You're all just like him. From Secret from the For that, he killed another living human in cold blood. And cut free of his regrets from the outside world. He doesn't know what true strength is. Do you see hope anywhere in there? Because I sure don't. Shut up, you crap. Go ahead, say that again, I dare you.
Yep.
Okay, say as many times as I want. This is what I want to say, but... Fortunately, I can't do that right now because the time for punishing is fast approaching. Punishing?
It can't be.
Execution.
Well now.
That's what I promised you, right? The black and that deserves a piece with you.
Ridiculous.
Hold on.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For Wada, the ultimate fighter. No, wait.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Sorry, man. I couldn't keep the promise we made. From one man to another.
Well, here's the execution, boys. Good God, that was... Jesus, that took forever. We're almost at 3 hours. Oh my freaking God, dude. Oh, that was terrible. I wish I was aware of that. I did not see that at all. That upsets me. I gotta do better, man. Let's enjoy this, huh? Left of him at that point. Jesus Christ. Oh no, wait. No, there is something left. Mondo butter. 2 times the fat. And he's putting it on his pancakes. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright. Turn him into butter. Laugh at death and your soul will forever be at peace. My brother. Another murder, another execution. I want to feel again. Everyone's lives are taken so lightly here. I feel like I might be going mad. Maybe I'll just let it happen. As Taka's sad screams invaded our skulls, we were each forced to realize once again. But he, of course, he had to. What disappointment. This is the end of the game. Yeah.
What is this?
Pretty insane, you know that game? One of our friends is dead. Do you realize that?
Naturally.
Of course I do. Because this game is life or death.
Hey,
I don't have anything to say to you. I don't have a response except
however...
that. I just don't understand why. Why do you go out of your way to disguise mother's crime?
What?
Why? Is it obvious? Because I made things more interesting. Jesus Christ. Last night when the murder took place, I was in the library as usual.
Honestly.
So you ignored the nighttime rule too. That will never matter to me. I don't recall agreeing to it.
There is nothing to be done.
I grew late and I decided to turn my room just when I slept. Found Moto coming out of the girl's locker. After he was gone, I looked inside and saw him. What? You mean you actually witnessed the murder? You're such a fool. You didn't have the slightest idea that I was seeing him.
Well...
So you're saying you knew who the culprit was from the very beginning?
That's right.
Indeed. It had been the end of it. How boring was that? What a waste of time to have the answer to your right. So I decided to help
I see.
But...
Damn, man. If you hadn't figured out who really done it, you would have been dead too, right? Well, obviously, I would have been before you said. Thanks to a certain remarkable somebody, it never did. I was able to form an interesting experience.
Interesting.
Once I do decide to become black, I now know who I'll have to watch out for.
Correct.
So that was the reason. Are you satisfied?
Indeed.
Yes, you're almost
Hey.
something I like to ask Monokuma.
What's this?
Huh? I'm up next.
You
like to perform these elaborate executions each time, correct? My question is why? Do you like them? But you know, this punishment, this despair, it's not just for you. All this punishment, all this despair is not here for mankind.
What?
Never exaggerate. Not over-exaggerate. This punishment is meant to transform all this despair.
Damn. What the heck? Damn it! Ooh, how exciting!
That's enough. In the name of my family.
You're getting all riled up!
Monokuma's laughter peeled across the courtroom, turning close in the case of Shiro Hongo. I knew that was the end. The killing game would still continue because the mastermind wouldn't let it end. For those of us who were still alive, worse fear and despair kept on multiplying. It was the kind of despair that felt like a blind puppy in hell had more of a future than us. All of our courage, our effort, our friendship. It felt like it amounted to nothing. It was the worst kind of despair.
Well, anyway, like I was saying, this is a pretty good spot. Yeah, a really good spot. Anyway, isn't it amazing how that girl went and killed someone before things even had a chance to get boring? Once things really get moving, it'll be like a roller coaster. There won't be any stopping it. Fear and despair charge forward at a speed nothing can hope to match. But I must admit, I'm disappointed. I went to all the pain and effort of making you part of the group, and you couldn't play your part. You do remember you were supposed to make the first move, right? Well, no biggie. Nothing we can do about it now. So just do your best to make things more exciting from now on, okay? After all, that's what everyone wants to see. As long as you don't want to know my measurements, fire away!
16 high school student.
Ooh-hoo! My, you really took me by surprise there. I know I said you could ask anything, but super denied, ultra denied, demonic denied. Because you see, that's my ace in the hole. And nobody'd be dumb enough to reveal that, right? No matter how close they were to their friends.
So one of us is the evildoer. Oh, boy's life of despair is over. Now we're down to 10. Well, apparently there might be another person somewhere. Honestly, so I guess we'll find out the hard way, huh? Oh, great. Yes, please. Oh my gosh, dude. That was 3 hours of me struggling.
I know I shouldn't cry, but...
Whoa. Whoa.
I've had enough.
Whoa.
I can't take it anymore.
Jesus.
Getting out of here anytime soon. It's impossible. I can't let myself think about how much I want to get out of here. If I keep thinking like that, I might decide to.
Oh boy. You know, I've noticed a pattern. There's some kind of thing revealing who it is based on, like, a lot of actions. I don't want to say that's her for sure, Sakura, but it could be. These donuts, twisted donuts, jelly donuts, cream filled, donut holes, molasses.
Okay.
God of donuts, I'm praying for one full encounter. I'm sorry. Please forgive me for breaking the entire rule right now. For me, donuts are absolutely necessary.
Huh?
Oh.
Huh?
What's that sound? Sounds like a robot.
But...
I'm super scared by it. It is. It's not there. What the heck? Well, that's how it's gonna start, huh? A next generation legend. Stand tall, galactic hero. Okay. The morning after the conclusion of the second-class trial. Everyone met up in the dining hall, just like always, and expected to start like any other day. That's what I expected, but... Today's kind of sucks, huh? Took one back to us, still pretty strong. I haven't seen this... Shahina anymore. She said her stomach's hurting, so she's taking it easy in her room for today.
Oh!
That's not unusual for her. She's so full of energy. Exactly what makes me wrong.
So then,
So it's just 7 of us then.
How about that?
It's times like this where the community chairman needs to get things going with a goal.
Impossible.
Or not. He's like terrified, dude. You can see that face. Talk hasn't said a word since everything happened yesterday. One look at his face showed he has a slap on the last night. Must be because of hormones. Two of them came so close and he finds out on the coach of Hero and then having to watch one of them punished and nothing to do about it. Can't even imagine what that gets done.
Well...
So, I mean, what's gonna happen now? They haven't found any way out. They have no idea if it pops up in
It's like...
Except they have to make the best of things. Just get to your best little on to keep together. Think about the outside world. Except this is that is the evil deal.
Well,
Why are you dissatisfied? In fact, let me ask you this. What's about the outside world that you want?
is that okay?
Competition, discrimination, victimization, violence, society grows, so does its perversion. In which case, is our current situation not demon angel, pretty princess?
Huh? Here we go!
Thank you, the drill shop owner, the bunny-eared Amazon, cat girl dog boy, former Justice of Galactic King, and
There is nothing to be done.
that's why I put such base desire to their advantage, bending you to their will.
You know?
Okay, well, anyways, since talk is like catatonic. As the oldest one here, I'm officially stepping up to take the lead. So we're all gonna work together and spend the rest of the day searching the school. Searching?
I'm right?
Well, I mean, since the class trial's over and all,
Perhaps.
there should be new places for us to investigate. That's a ticket. We'll find some kind of new clues this time.
Well then.
Then once we are done eating, let's split up and get looking around. Do you have any problem with that, Celeste? And maybe what we discovered waiting for us, which may further enrich our life. No, the point is to look for clues. Just that we're starting to come together. Keep barging in.
You called for me, and so I appeared!
Oh no, not a genocide kill.
What?
Oh no. How come it's genocide kill?
Yes!
Oh, this place is just amazing. Not a place to just be my murder self. This is why I decided to stop going back and spread my wings. No more hiding cave for me. Let's have another battle fight. Killer, the split personality thing is so dumb and stressed.
You SOB!
I'll fight all day and all night. For those totally slanderous clicks. You are a killer to split personality. If she weren't here, my chance spot would go up at least 10%. I gotta back me up here, even the biggest stars in the world. This is just... Well then, whatever else we do today, first we should eat. Can't do anything on an empty stomach. Alright, let's hurry up and eat something. Let her go crazy. Let's just finish this. Oh my gosh, dude, this is... I should have waited till tomorrow to play this, god dang. I'm gonna have no sleep, that's whatever. I got no exams tomorrow. Okay, can we pause? Are we good? Oh, thank God. Oh my gosh. I wonder if there's anything new for Shihiro real quick. You know that they are a guy. This is not a show. Alright guys, well, I hopefully you enjoyed this 3-hour affair. What I might do, I don't know if I want to cut it. I feel like cutting it would be lame. I might though. I might cut it into 2 parts to help out a bit, because 3 hours is too much to digest. I don't know. I'll think about that. I don't know. I'll think about that. Either that, or I'll put a timestamp for that part where I struggled, because that was probably like an hour or something. I don't know how long that was. I'll look through the footage later to see how long that was. But, because it was a long time, no doubt. I just kept messing up again and again and again and again and again and again, so. But, I gotta go to bed. I got classes tomorrow. I gotta sleep. Get, like, any kind of sleep. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We'll come back tomorrow, or when I get back to this again tomorrow. So we're gonna just explore school, see what's new, and just do some stuff. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed all those fails and the end of the triumph. Hopefully I'll do better on the next one. Hopefully I pick up on something like that. I just took the shot, and well, there you go. Okay, see you guys then.